Hello, welcome to Moonlit Bliss. This is me. I'm Benny. I'm a judge for the RPG Maker Game Jam. How you doing? How you doing? My name's Benny. Yeah, I've already said that. But this is called Moonlit Blessed. Yeah, let's play. Press start and go. You've never been afraid of the night. How could you be when the shining moon is always there? Our kind, gentle moon god that protects us from the dark. Even in the middle of the most encroaching shade, it watches over us in its full brilliance. This is a side note, a technical side note. It's an annoying thing to, what's it called, to admit, but like pixel perfect text in an RPG Maker game is an annoying thing to get right. And this text looks great. It's not stretched in any way. It's like a really like basic thing that RPG Maker, yeah, it looks great. One day, the foresight says the moon will dim and vanish, and on the third day of its disappearance, a young hero will leave on a journey to bring her back to our skies. Yeah, RPG Maker text. Oh, I've had so many troubles with RPG Maker text over and over. It's so annoying. You've always known this would fall to your best friend. Oh, cool portrait. Set the character's gender. They've always been the bravest. She's the most reliable friend there is. If someone can do it, it's him. We'll go with she, her. And what is her name? Themis. I mean, yeah, why not? That's a good name. Yes, even the Foresight is always known. They've trained Themis since a very young age just to be ready for this moment. On the other hand, you are a common person. I like most other girls you know. Normal boy from the village. You go with we're her as well. We're like most other girls you know. And what is your name? Albedo. Yep. But for this moment, you are no less prepared. You've even studied hard to learn some magic. Because since long ago, you decided you wanted to go with her on this journey. By the way, that gender choice was actually very slyly done. Yeah, I liked it. It was, revealed using sentence. Moonlit Bliss. Oh, this is like screaming like, I don't know if Stoic is here, but screaming like so many of the VNs I've tried recently where you have like a real photo and you've pixelated it as a background, and you've even got the skip text. You got the whole shift skip text. This is like good visual novel stuff. The moon is gone. It's the third moonless night in a row. You've never been afraid of the night, but in this darkness, even the lamps of the village seem feeble and powerless against it. Is this a VN? I mean, you're talking to the right guy. I like the genre. Stoic might say that I don't like all the staples of the genre, particularly when I've played recently. No, just kidding. I'm just joking still. Through the window, you pray to the skies above. You feel a pet presage of something. Who is it this late? Without delay, you open the door. Wow, she really is awake. Wow, you are finally woke. I thought people usually slept at this hour. That's a quote from Skyrim, but it's brain rot. I told you, I knew she would be. Sorry to come this late, but don't worry, it'll be just a moment. It's Themis, oddly still up and about. Usually she would be asleep by now to be ready for training at sunrise. At her side is a diminutive figure, a very pale like the clearest moonbeam. Themis? And is that? This is Dot, an envoy of the moon. You know that means, right? Were you afraid to open the door? What if it had been a monster from the depths of the night? One of the terrible shadows from between the trees? What's crazy also is that this looks pixel perfect. Is it? It might not be, but it might be. Or it might be just so close to pixel perfect that I don't mind. Like, see how these line up with the pixels here? They seem to line up perfectly. Even this. Quite great. It's wow. And it's not made in 2K3 or anything like that. It's a VX game. And I know how that's definitely not pixel perfect in this way. Hey, don't be mean to Albedo. It's dark out there, sure, but we're safe inside here. Yeah, being so brave already. On the third day of the moon's disappearance, the chosen hero will depart. The foresight was right. I knew it would be you. Shh, lower your voice. It's late, remember? Ah, whoops. Your foresighters were accurate on their prophecy, you know. They got all the details right, down to the silver of your eyes. Well, all the training would have gone to waste if they'd been wrong. As soon as the moon vanished, I had a feeling the time was coming. It's amazing, Timus. You're finally going to be a hero. Haha, I still find it hard to believe. Dot and I will let everyone know as soon as I wake up, but I wanted to tell you first. I knew you would still be up fretting about the missing moon. Maybe? Was I? It's okay. I'm not even that sleepy yet. So, you'll be leaving tomorrow? I can't afford to delay much. Tomorrow morning, I'm departing to fulfill my duty at last. I'm going to bring back the moon. Still time for goodbye, so no need to hurry yet. You see, I know this is your duty, but I've been thinking about this for a long time. I want to come with you. Huh? Are you sure? It will be dangerous and I'll have to travel far from the village and... Even more reason to come and help. It doesn't say anywhere in the prophecy that the hero has to go alone, does it? Yes it doesn't? You'll really come with me, even if it's dangerous? If that's okay with you, I'd be glad if you did. It'll be reassuring. Then, I guess we both should go to sleep soon if we want to get up early enough. We can. I feel like it'll be hard enough to catch a single wink. She's right, she's right, hero. You'll have to wake up very early tomorrow. Well, if only someone hadn't suddenly appeared to nominate me chosen one at this inhuman hour. Can't help it, I'm an envoy of the moon, remember? My working time is at night. Sure. I'll save the complaints for when the moon's back then. We can prepare together tomorrow. Get something warm to drink. Might help you sleep a bit. Will do. I think I'll sneak into the kitchens a moment. You'll make the order regret having trained you so much. Hey, it's your idea. Surely they can forgive their chosen one for one small cup of milk before departure. Get some good rest too, alright? Full night to you. I'll try. Full night to you too. Timus leaves down the corridor and you quietly close the door. Hopefully there's still time for you to get enough hours of sleep. Yep, let's save our progress. The next early morning, under the first sunbeams, the village of the Order gathers at the exit to bid the hero good travel. Our chosen one, may you succeed and be blessed, brings us back our kind, gentle moon. Together with the other villagers, you also bow to the hero. Feels strange, like they're all praising the savior they've raised and cultivated for this duty, instead of wishing well to a dear friend. You notice Timus looking at you. With your cane and equipment ready, you step forward to follow her. You can feel the surprised looks, the confused stares, the voices asking, why is she following the hero? Judge note, this is pretty... feels like quite well done internal dialogue, which from my limited understanding of visual novels, is quite good and effective in generating momentum, so we'll see where this goes. Perhaps some even think you're stepping into a limelight you don't belong. And maybe they're right, you think, but you try to pay them no mind. Together, you step outside the village and leave it behind. It's almost like we're living in one of the legends, those where the moon becomes thinner every night until it disappears. That's true, but it's fine even in the stories, the moon always ends up coming back. Are you nervous? Me? Nervous? Why? You've always said this is going to be a dangerous journey, you know. Even I'm getting a bit anxious. And who wouldn't be? Every start of a journey is a new experience. The worry is part of the anticipation. I just want to make sure. I don't want to end up dragging you into trouble with me. Seed of doubt has always been there, it's true. The journey is no mere stroll. Everyone that fears the darkness of the night depends on your success. With that in mind, you feel, oh, is this a choice? I wonder what this choice does. I guess, hyped. You've been waiting for this day. Maybe it's just the excitement. I still can't believe it's finally the day. Even if it's not my duty, I've been preparing for this too. If you're nervous, then we'll just be nervous together. Aha, that puts me at ease. It's very exciting to finally go. Good. Being in high spirits will give us the power to succeed. Very well. Now that we're all set, it's time to decide where to go first. Huh? Are we going to save the moon right away? What does saving the moon mean anyway? That alone won't be enough, unfortunately. Correct. As I told you yesterday night, hero, this is what we'll have to do. Our final goal is to climb the tallest mountain. Celeste, anybody? And reach the highest point in the sky to rescue the moon. But of course, the moon itself is not the only problem. The full moon wolf, the waning hourglass, and the crescent lake. They're not really an obstacle to get to the mountain, but they're all connected to the moon and are also suffering from her lunacy. Before we save her, we must save them too. Lunacy? What happened to them? How are we going to save them? Don't fret. Saving each of them will be like a little trial before the final goal. With my guidance and wisdom, it'll be like a breeze for the hero. You said you know where to find them, right, Dot? Of course. Just choose which one you'd like to deal with first and follow my lead. Okay. Just point me to where you want to go. I'm just going to go from the bottom to the top, so this one here. Seeing the village so small in the distance, you feel so far away from home, but it's alright. It's not time to go back yet. Okay, let's go to the left one. Through the path to the west, a town comes to view. Follow this path? Sure. Following the path to the west, you arrive at a small town. It's bigger than the village you've always known, and while the faith in the moon is still noticeable, the air feels somewhat different. Part of the pavement shows signs of recent damage. Small pieces of broken wood are scattered along the streets. When you arrive at the market, the hustle and bustle that should have been present feels oddly quiet. Judge's note, nice background and nice vibe, I like it. Exchanges are done discreetly so as not to alert the bad omen. How quiet. The market at home is usually more lively than this, isn't it? Yeah. The people here seem afraid. Something must have happened. Poor people. They must be so scared in these dark nights. What should we do? Maybe we can ask someone about it. Do we have to? I feel like they've already had enough to deal with right now. But these are the people you're here to save, hero. Seeing you will surely give them hope. I don't know, I was thinking that helping them without making a ruckus of me being here would be for the best. But maybe I should say something to them at least. Maybe. Perhaps asking someone will be the most direct way. It doesn't even have to be Timus who does it. That's something you can just do yourself. But there's its perks to investigating too. There are perks, I think. You suggest to Timus that you should. We ask around together, should we investigate or divide our tasks? I'd like to do something together. Let's ask around together. People are good to interact with. I think asking around is a good idea. It'll be the fastest way after all. Fine, I guess it'll be fine to try. There's nothing a hero can't handle, right? That's the spirit. Go on, I'm sure they'll all be eager to help. Heh. Let's go ask them together. Looking around at the nearby market stalls, you decide to approach a friendly-looking vendor to ask about the strange mood of the town. Why, terrible beasts have been coming to town past midnight these last days. They've devoured half our livestock, and now they're starting to come for us. So that's why the streets are like that. Oh no, what brings them here? Can't they hunt freely in the forest? Surely it must be the wolf's doing. It's sending its pack to attack us. We have either angered it, or it has betrayed and eaten the moon. Fear not. A hero right here will take care of it and return the moon. Huh? The hero? Of course, a savior of silver eyes. It must be you. The other nearby vendors and townspeople turn to look at your group. Ah, haha. Gulp? Everyone's looking here. Come on, say something. They're waiting. What am I supposed to say? You just put me on the spot. So it's true. The missing moon and the hero of prophecy. Our neighbors of the Order had always been so confident in it. But to send someone so young... Have you come to save us from the wolf, hero? Is it true you can bring back the moon? You hear Timus take a deep breath. Yes. Hear me, everyone. By this hand I will fulfill my duty and return to you our kind, gentle moon. I promise to you all. Despite her initial hesitation, there's a confidence in Timus's words as she speaks. You know this is a vow she's kept for all her life. The few townspeople gathered at the market all seem to recover their cheer. Hooray, hooray, hooray. They may not be from the village of the Order, but they also now depend and believe in the hero. Tell us what you need, hero, though we can't offer much. Yes, if there's anything I may help with, I will. For the victims, at least. If you would tell us all you know about the wolf and what happened here, it would be a great help. The hesitant hero quickly gets used to being the center of attention. She seems a bit more confident now. From the sidelines, you listen to the townspeople explain what they suspect the most. The wolf has gone mad. So it all started when the moon vanished. The beasts have been behaving strangely, and they think it's because of the wolf. But the wolf has always kept its distance from the town until now. Curious that. What sort of guardian is the wolf? A lone, dignified beast who only has eyes for the moon. It's strange. Doesn't sound like a creature would suddenly prepare an attack like this. If it wanted to eat the townspeople, why send other beasts here instead of coming directly, you mean? Yeah, there must be something else. Townspeople are right, though. The wolf has gone mad. With no moon to howl at night, the lunacy must be eating away at it. If we go now before the night arrives, we might be able to take it by surprise. Let's go to the forest then, before it gets too late. Yeah, it's safe. You start walking, following the tracks on the path. Yet again, nice background. The more you advance, the denser the trees get. Good music selection too. As you become more and more surrounded, it starts to darken until you're not sure if the night has come. There's eyes between the trees, and a cold air permeates the woods. From time to time, you hear the running of frightened forest creatures away from you, but the more you advance, the more it all turns silent. Once the tracks start blending with the underbrush, Dot takes the lead. Follow me. I can sense the wolf's presence now. It's so quiet here. Like even the bugs have completely vanished. Like no beast is brave enough to stay here. Under the fairy's guidance, you arrive at a clearing. In normal circumstances, a circle of trees would have framed the moon like a halo on the earth. There's only a void above. Instead, the center of the clearing is a dense mound of brilliant flowers that look as if they have been born from the moonlight itself. It would be beautiful if it weren't for the chill you feel in your spine as soon as you step into this scene. I have a bad feeling. Yes, something here feels strange. Careful, hero. We're entering the wolf's domain. And as soon as Dot says these words, an eerie breeze envelops the clearing. There's a presence, something circling you from the trees, something that is getting closer. There's a nice building of tension here. Themis readies her sword. Guess it was too much to expect it to be sleeping obediently. There, the flash of a white mane dashes towards you three from between the trees, but Themis sees it coming. Whoa, I like this. Cool drawing. She steps in front of you, parrying the wolf's bite with the flat side of the blade. The wolf releases the bite and jumps over you to the middle of the clearing. It struggles to stand as if in a daze. I don't think slaying the wolf directly will be an option. I'll have to think of something fast. You won't need to hurt it much. You only need to touch the gem on its forehead and take its lunacy. Alright. It looks easier said than done. The wolf howls. A strange, darker glimmer like a flame flickers between its eyes. You could easily imagine the silhouette of this beast gazing at the moon in a peaceful night. But instead, it's quickly running towards the hero in a frenzy. Themis manages to dodge with calculated timing. Fortunately, a beast out of control is easily outsmarted. The wolf strikes back, but the hero parries its bite with her sword again. Like playing Dark Souls? When she steps back from the clash, the sword's arc leaves a small dark red slash on the sides of its mouth. It will be hard to get closer without hurting it. Even if Themis can keep up with this duel and eventually win, there's definitely a great risk. You feel like you can't just stand there, you need to do something. You decide to magic shield, use magic spell, do nothing. Should we use a magic shield? Cover for Themis with a magic shield. You run to Themis' side. In a quick, firm gesture, you lift your cane in front of you. You envision a net like a spiderweb crafted all around the two of you. The magic solidifies and the wolf's attack is stopped in its tracks. The impact leaves a crack in the magic shield. Stunned for a moment, the wolf stumbles. Quick, now that it's stunned, I'll lower the shield. Alright, now. Themis fearlessly dashes in front of the wolf and extends an arm towards it. At the same time, the beast begins to open its maw. But before its teeth can sink into Themis' arm, the wolf stops in its tracks. I'll take a swig of water. The tips of Themis' left hand connect with the wolf's forehead just in time. The dark glimmer erupts from the gemstone like a dark mist, quickly envelops Timus's. Then it fades. Timus steps back from the wolf, but it seems the attack ended. The wolf slowly collapses into a mound of flowers, with eyes finally clear of Mandan. Suddenly, ah, Timus falls on her knees. Timus, are you alright? Yes, my legs just failed me for a moment. Fine. There's nothing to be too concerned about. The after effects of the lunacy can just take a bit of a toll. That was the lunacy? Don't worry, see? I can get up just fine. A little worried, Timus. Let me at least heal your wounds. The two of you sit down right where you are. You notice the wolf, now resting as if the battle had never happened at all. Well, the wolf kind, isn't it? It looks at you with thankful eyes, as if saying that you can stay in its domain as long as you need. Just like a very big dog now. Townspeople will be glad to know the wolf is back to normal. Now the other beasts won't have to run away in fear anymore. What about that gemstone? What was that? That was a fragment of the moon, of course. It was tainted by the lunacy, but not anymore. With the moon present and its mind clear of lunacy, it would have been a much, much bigger threat. You did a great job, hero. Well, I was quite literally born to do this, so it's no big deal. After resting for a little bit, you decide it's time to return. You look at the clearing one last moment. The wolf, exhausted, curls up in the middle of the mound of flowers, peaceful and gentle like the moon itself. We know this is not what you wanted to do, so wait here and rest. The hero will bring back the moon for you too. Together you make your way back to the town. From between the trees you still feel the eyes of fearful beasts looking at you with respect and curiosity, but none of them have the will to attack anymore. You leave the forest, feeling that at last all will be at peace here. When you finally arrive at the town, the night has come. You notice various silhouettes holding torches on one hand and arms on the other, waiting at the entrance. Uh-oh, seems like someone will be disappointed. They expected beasts today. They're going to get a surprise. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? We do bring them a good surprise. Probably pointless to ask, but I don't suppose we might just be able to leave. Come on, hero, you get a free claim to fame, and this is how you deal with it? Not sure I 100% vibe with Dot's attitude, but it'll be fine. I'm sure they'll all be glad. Yeah, I guess. Let's go. Even if Timus tried to run away, the townspeople have already noticed you anyway. The town guard starts walking towards you. You? Aren't you the youngsters who are running around town today? Huh, you come from the forest. Rejoice, this is the hero that has saved the wolf. You won't need to fear anymore. The beasts of the forest are back to their home in peace and won't hurt you anymore. You hear the murmurs of the people. Could it be? Is it truly as they say? Timus's silver eyes would never lie. It's the hero. The hero has dealt with the wolf. The townspeople raise their torches in a cheer. Quickly, they gather around you and guide you back to the town. Hearing the commotion, many other villagers rise up to join the sudden celebration. Allow us to thank you, hero. We'll give you as much as we can for your journey, whether it's gear, supplies, or riches, anything at all. The elder bows in profuse reverence. Many merchants in the crowd approach to offer some of their wares, and some people even drop a few of their coins. Soon, in front of you, is a box filled to the brim with rewards. Oh, there's even raisin cookies. I don't know if I can accept so much. Town has gone through some rough days. It wouldn't be fair. Nonsense. You saved our home. Through the lives we've lost will not return. That we offer you, we can recover. Feeling pressured, Timus looks more and more unsure. Turns to you and Dot. How are we even going to carry all of this? With your arms? On your back? I can think of some other ways if you're willing to do a handstand. Dot. Cheeky. Sure, I'll do a handstand all the way to the mountain. Really now? I really want to see you do that now. Or you can eat the food and carry it in your stomach. That also works. Timus has a point, but there's always be solution. It again. Timus has a point, but there can always be solutions to that. Thinking about this dilemma, you decide to insist to take the full reward, or agree with Timus and keep only half. Well, the thing is, if we keep only half, how are we going to reject the other half? I kind of kind of depends on how we reject it, because I can think of two different ways. One way is quite kind, where you're like, we would love to take the full reward, but we can't carry it all. I'm so sorry. But feel free to distribute it as part of a feast, you know, some kind, gesture. But keeping only half, if you say it like, I'm sorry, you say it like, I can't carry it all up there. We'll only take half, thanks, or something like that. I guess that's still polite, but there's like a spectrum of politeness that you could keep only half. I'm going to keep full faith in these heroes that they will be respectful in their keeping only half of the gift. Because the way I would do it is I'd be like, tentative keeping only half, but if they insist that I keep the full reward, then I'll have to take it all, I guess. Yeah, I agree. They need all of this more than us right now. That's also a good reason. Maybe we can take just half? We could carry it between our backpacks more easily. And I will carry the raisins in my mouth. You're going to have to convince them, though. They look like they won't take no for an answer. This is very much sort of like I come from a Samoan cultural background, and they're very giving, almost to the point where they'll give too much. They'll give out of their sort of deep pockets of like their savings to visitors as a form of respect, but oftentimes it puts them in a bad position, and sometimes you have to try your best to politely refuse even though they insist to give you the gift. So this is quite a familiar situation. I guess. Amos looks around, feeling the pressure of a lot of expectant gazes. I'm immensely thankful for your kindness, really, but I'd be glad if you kept it part of your generous reward. We didn't deal with the wolf to be repaid anyway. That's not the way I'd put it, Temis, but I'd just say thank you for your, for your intention to pay us, but we would love to give half of it back to help this community. Something like that, yeah. Hey, this is a halfway. Even if our journey will be difficult, we don't need to take more than we need. Are you sure? Are you sure? This is the least we can do for someone fated to save our lives. It's alright. Knowing that you're entrusting me with your hopes is already a great support. Now that's a great way to put it. That's a way that I wouldn't have thought about putting it. I don't usually think about framing things in such a way. Ooh. Smooth. Yeah, there we go. That was a smooth move, wasn't it? Is that so? Very well. At least do allow us to offer you a stay for the night. Wait, stay night? Just kidding. Free of charge for today. That I don't think we can refuse. We all do need some rest. Once the matter of the reward is settled, you finally get a breather from all the attention. Was that present tense? Has it been present tense this whole time, or was it past tense and then it just quickly turned into present tense for that one sentence? I'll have to check. Look at our hero, first acting so shy, and now you're the most gallant around. You're great at motivating people when you get to it. The party continues. Oh, it has been present tense this whole time. Okay, my bad. The party continues a little bit later into the night, though you decide to retire a little bit before it ends. Your bones are sore, and not even the singing and the cheers will keep you from having the biggest sleep. Accepting the offer to stay in the village, you sleep on the most comfortable beds of the inn for the rest of the night. The next morning, that transition from the blue to the orange has not gone unnoticed in my eyes. That was very cool. The next morning you wake up well rested and depart without delay after breakfast. Miss. Well, that was one guardian. 2 more to go now. If that was one and there's 2 more to go, I'm not sure if I can do them all within the time limit. Let's see. Where did the guardians come from anyway? What exactly are they? You could say they're the silent protectors on behalf of the moon. As for how exactly, tell me, are you afraid of the dark? Not really. Okay, fine, you're different. I'm just trying my best to give an example here. Alright, let's say I am. Go on. Good. So you see, the night is a great source of fear. If you put together all that fear, it gathers and festers. And when it accumulates too much, it starts affecting the things around it. So, the guardians of the moon protect you and all from it with their light. Oh, I see. But here comes the prophecy to warn us that it's them who need help now. After so much time, even they have been affected by the lunacy for some reason. And that's where I come in to save them, right? Exactly. They've done much for us without us knowing. Hope we can help them back. By the way, how's your right leg holding up? A bit sore still, but resting did it some good. That's good. If you need to take any breaks, do tell. Something wrong with your leg, Albedo? Just some leftover after effects of an injury years ago. It's been long healed, but my right leg is still a bit weaker than my left. Oh, I see. So that's why you only wear one sock. What happened? Hey, you don't just ask someone about that. It's okay, I don't mind. I've just got a bit of an ugly scar there. I was attacked by a monster some years ago. It was scary, but Temis was there to help me. Wow, already being a hero since so long ago. So valiant. Temis has always been very brave. That was the least I could do. If only I could lend you my wings. But sadly, I do need them myself. It's fine, really. If I need a rest, I'll tell you. Gotcha. Yeah. So, where are we going next? Just point me to it and let's go. Not the top of the tower yet. Not the top of the mountain. Through the path to the north, you see ruins in the distance. Follow this path? Sure. Following the path directly north, you notice the ground and surroundings becoming more mountainous. The vegetation is way sparser than the forest you're used to. All around you feel bigger, more spacious, and free. For a while, you see no sign of any settlements or travelers, but that doesn't make you feel that uneasy. You're not alone after all. You're like I'm reading you a bedtime story? Fair enough. It is quite nice. It's got quite a nice vibe to it, doesn't it? The hourglass should be hidden around this area. Yeah, everybody get your cookies together, your, hot chocolates and stuff, and a blanket. Bedtime. This might sound silly, but what we're looking for can't be a simple hourglass, can it? Well, it is an hourglass, that part is true. Just a very big one. What do hourglasses have to do with the moon? You ask such silly questions. This isn't relevant to the mission, is it? You could almost swear she's hiding how much she doesn't know the answer to that question. While stopping from time to time to enjoy the view, you both continue following Dot until you reach what seems to be an abandoned... Oh, I think I read about this in a book. This is a temple from the people before the Order. That's correct. This is a very ancient place. The people used to venerate the moon here? Imagine we had a temple like this in the village. I wonder what made those people disappear. You're looking at it the wrong way. What remained of them is what became your Order. See. I hope they won't have left any traps for us. Stay behind me and I'll check ahead as we go. You enter the ruins through what seems to be the main entrance and find yourself in a corridor. Stone arcs go on, letting some light filter between the ancient cracks and dilapidated windows. But the more you advance, the more the light starts to dim. Oh, the corridor gets divided here. 3 entrances invited you to enter. The left one seems to have patches of sand on the floor. The middle one seems to go deeper and darker. The right one feels like a nice breeze is blowing from it. Where do you sense the hourglass, Dot? I can sense it from all around. I'm super sure it's through these paths. All of them? That saves us some trouble, but we still have to choose one. Which could be the fastest? The direct way might also be the most heavily protected, but if all paths lead to the hourglass, it doesn't hurt to try finding the safest way. Do you think they should take the sandy path to the left, the dark path in the middle, or the breezy path to the right? Let's go with the breezy path to the right. Why do we go to the right? They all lead to the hourglass, maybe a more open path might be the safest. Are you sure? If the wind's coming from there, it might just bring us back outside. Who knows, we might even find a direct passage to the hourglass if the ruins have collapsed around there. Fair point. Let's give it a try at least. Just because it's the right path doesn't make it the correct one. Okay, Dot. It'll be funny if it was. You decide to continue through the right and maybe correct path. Here, the light filters not only through cracks, but also through the remains of columns and sometimes the outright lack of a wall. Unlike the rest of the interior ruins made of bare stone, the overgrowth covers a big part of the temple exterior. It's cold out, but even the mountain air feels warmer than inside the ruins. It's pleasant, and even refreshing after all the walking you've been doing today. At one point, the corridor makes a turn to the left surrounding the temple, and from there is, a very long staircase. Oh well, you're here now. If anyone's going back to avoid climbing, should be climbing stairs, it won't be you. Stairs, so many stairs, no more. There was quite a bit of them. Let's rest here for a while. You sit down on some nearby rubble. In the past, this might not have been the highest floor of the temple, but the collapse of the uppermost structures have made it so now. How's your leg feeling? Just a bit extra sore. Phew, at least this view was worth it. Seems very nice. Even if the hourglass isn't up here, I'm glad we found this place. Oh, look there. Do you see it? Huh? Where? You point towards the far south. Isn't that our village peeking from between the hills? Look at this cute little scene here. I see it. Looks like barely more than 4 houses. Oh, it's even smaller than me from here. It's true, even you could hold it in your hands. Strange to think about. Until now, we didn't know much aside from these barely 4 houses. The view from here, or the people from this temple, or all the paths continuing far towards the horizon, I could only imagine them until now. It's like I still can't fully believe it. By the way, this is a really nice moment of reflection. It's good to have these weightless moments in a visual novel or any type of story where it's take it in, take in everything that you've sort of experienced until now and think about your internal thoughts. We only knew them from the legends and stories, and there's a lot more that we haven't seen. You wish you could stay here just a bit longer, but this moment of respite can't last forever, unfortunately. You're here for a reason, and there's more on this floor to see yet. Once your legs start to feel normal again, you both take a good look around. You soon discover a fallen corner leading back inside to a lower floor. Using the rubble as footstools, you carefully descend. You start to wonder what's worse, a long upwards staircase or an unstable improvised one. When you arrive at solid ground, you're in an empty room. Rubble and sand cover most of it, but the first impression it gives you is that someone might have lived here in the past. There's faded paint and engravings on the wall. A pattern that looks somewhat familiar decorates the same row of bricks all around the room. Oh, those were in that book I read too. I think they're related to the legend of the Book of the Moon of Many Shapes. The legend of the Moon of Many Shapes, that just looks like the different stages of the Earth moon. Every day, the moon gave part of itself to the people until it lost its form and had to regather itself again piece by piece, changing its form every night. It's a really fun way to mythologize the way the moon changes its shape. They called those forms the phases of the moon. Oh, I remember that one. The people here might have known the story too. Even the tails are proof of the moon's kindness, of course. It's all over the room, though. Maybe the story was important to them in some way. While you look at the patterns attentively, Emmis peeks through the room door. Look, we're back to the temple corridors. Let's just keep searching around here. You leave through the proper exit of the room leading to another passage. It's dark and cold, and the ground is completely flooded with sand. Dot nods. The hourglass feels very close now. Save up. Following the grim passage, oh, nice music. You arrive at a large set of doors tall as the wall itself. You don't even need to think about how to unlock them because a river of sand flowing from inside is keeping them open. Oh, look at that imagery. At last, the central room welcomes you in all its splendor, hidden under a sea of sand and more sand. I just got chills. What's with all the sand? It's like being in the middle of a storm. Good luck, hero. I'll be watching from inside your hood. You even fit in there? Don't you want to take a sand shower like the rest of us? Now, this is very typical of visual novel moments where you use character interactions and their physicality quite smartly, where it's like the fairy's like, oh, put me under your hood type thing, and then they have this bonding moment where it's like, oh, do you even fit in there? Don't you want to be with, there's some cute little interactions. I think that's a very smart thing to do in something like this. To be fair, neither do I. We're going to have to do something about that up there then. Emmis points at the altar at the center of the room. The source of the sandfall stands right there, an hourglass bigger than any you have ever imagined you'd see. Oh, it's an hourglass. More chills. Its center glows in a purple, ominous flame that taints the grains of sand as they pour from it infinite. That doesn't look normal or right at all. Any ideas, Dot? It's simple. You just have to touch its core to remove the lunacy. That will make it stop. How do we even reach it? All that sand is blocking the way. Easy. What do you do to reset an hourglass? We flip it? Correct. That should make it more accessible for a moment, at least while it resets. Sounds simple enough. Question is, how? With such a big device, it isn't a simple matter of picking it up and turning it upside down. There has to be some better way to do it. What I also like is like the wolf encounter was a specific sort of like creature with the gem in its head. But this is like a totally different sort of thing. Welcome in, Locra Leon. I'll just pause my timer for this visual novel just while I address you. Welcome in, Locra Leon. How's it going? How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. We're just playing this awesome visual novel. Also, I will say, I played The Wild Run, and I guess it's a tiny spoiler. I did like it quite a bit. Good, this looks great. Great to hear. Yeah. I'll continue the timer, but I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say I liked it. Let's resume. Your eyes go from the hourglass to its supports to a half-buried crank in there. Wild Run was awesome? Yeah, it was. It's really good. And this one feels like a great bedtime story. So glad I played it. I'm so glad I'm glad I played it too. It's really good. I'll pause the timer again. I'm actually very surprised what you managed to do in RPG Maker Unite. I'm very proud. I was like, whoa, this is impressive. All right, let's resume the timer. Though the sand makes walking difficult, Temis managed to drag herself to the crank. Actually, I'll add a minute because I talked about it. It's old and rusted, and moving it seems like it's going to be a hard time. Maybe there's something you could do to make it easier for you. The best option would be to we go help Temis move the crank. Should we try to stop the sand with magic? I kind of don't like the thing of like, oh, let's not help. You know, I want to go help. I don't want to try and do nothing. I'm gonna... Yeah, let's stop the sand with magic, actually. Yeah. Considering the state the room is in, even if the crank works, it could break at any moment. It might not be the best idea. But there's another, more direct option. I have an idea. Give me a second. What are you planning to do? Start concentrating on your cane, gathering magic. Oh, this is a cool thing. I like when, you know, in like tabletop RPGs and such, you think the player thinks of a thing that is like not quite what you'd expected you'd be able to do. And I think choices matter games, or choices centered games, I should rather say. I should call them choice centered games, choice based games. Are like, that's when they shine, I reckon, is when they present opportunities that a person would think of that are quite left field, and then they lean into them. So I like that idea. You start concentration on your cane, gathering magic. You can manage to stop the sandfall for a moment. It will be a chance for Temis to reach the doorway sooner. Once you've gathered enough energy, you hurl it directly towards the wall of sand around the device. Like a cut through the air, the sand parts, leaving the core exposed. But the magic doesn't stop there. Crack. The blast hits the glass, making a crack appear. The rest of the sandfall stops. Oh. A strange dark breath comes out of the crack like smoke, and suddenly, a blast of sand breaks it open, shooting right towards you. You can't dodge it. From under the sand, you hear your companions' muffled voices. Oh no, Albedo. Quick, hero, now is the moment. If you touch the core now, it'll all stop. Ah, fine. You can't tell what's happening much while you struggle to get up, but soon you feel the weight of the sand covering you start to disappear. You manage to get up right in time to see Temis on top of the altar with her hand touching the core. The dark glimmer tainting the grains of sand grows in size, engulfing Temis's entire arm and then the rest of her body. But as fast as that happens, it dissipates. Instead of the ominous glow it used to have, now the core shines with pure light. Ah. What I will note is that Timur seems to be getting the hard part of this deal with each new, you know, thing that we overcome. It seems that we are absorbing all the like rough energy supporting it and kind of taking a toll on Temis. Your audio is cutting out sometimes. Not sure why. Usually during the end of a read line. I think it might be my noise gate that I have. I usually have a noise gate. Let me actually. I'm going to turn up my mic a bit, and I'll turn my noise gate down a bit. What if I turned it off completely? Because it's quite silent where I am. This will sound a lot different to how I usually sound. This is me with no noise gate. But I think it'll be a good option for this sort of visual novel thing. I'm going to pause and I'm going to give it a minute. I'm going to read what Lockerleon said. I appreciate that. It was fun to make. I had made the game in Unite before the Wild Run. Made a game in Unite before the Wild Run and made a devlog on the page of that on how I work with Unite. You combine the RPG Maker workflow with the 3D Unity scenes. That one is called North Song Rift. Yeah, I truly think it was kind of. I haven't really, and I apologize to the creator of Moonlight Bliss for this unrelated discussion, but I've paused the timer. I haven't really been in tune with like Unite and what it presents. But it seems to me like you've found a way to use Unite in a way that benefits you and it's quite good to use. So that's really awesome. And I think that personally RPG Maker should use one of your projects as the RPG Maker Unite poster child or something because they were very good. I was actually amazed because Unite is sometimes quite hard to use, I've found, but if you can use it like you have, yeah, I don't know, it seems quite intense. But anyway, I will continue with this. We've got about 17 minutes left of this great visual novel, and we're in the middle of it. We're in the middle. Does my voice sound okay? But once again, when the dark glow vanishes, Timus falls on her knees. This time the pain seems stronger than before. Timus, is it the lunacy again? Yeah, it's the same feeling, like my head is splitting. Sounds good to you now? Awesome. Don't worry, we'll go away in a moment. It's a temporary pain. Is there anything I can do? Healing? Maybe that will work. Let's just rest for a moment. As the calm starts to settle in, the receding sandfalls finally let you see the room properly. There are columns all around, with the hourglass at the center of it all. Behind it is the circle of familiar shapes, the phases, now with the one at the top lit up. The hourglass is so bright now. Was the core also a fragment of the moon? Indeed. Now that it's been purified, there's nothing to worry about anymore. In front of it, a statue slightly taller than you is unveiled from under the cascade of sand it was drowning in. The remaining grains of sand fall around it like a soft mantle. Oh, a statue. I was starting to think there wouldn't be any. You approach it to examine it up close. It looks like a priestess wearing a crown made of 3 golden stars, and in her chest is the same pattern of symbols, yet again, the phases of the moon. You hear a whisper among the sound of the sand. 1 for the many, 2 for the show, 3 for the... No, sorry. 1 for the many, to free us from this madness. May the eternal moon forever guide us. Save your progress. Save your progress. Progress. You're very, very sure you heard something. It wasn't just me, was it? Did you hear a voice too? A voice? Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Why do you sound like you're telling a ghost story? Well, that might not be so far off. This place is full of ghosts of the far long past, after all. Now that the hourglass is back to normal, we can leave them here to rest in peace. Sorry for the disturbance, ghosts. The hero just spared them more torment from the lunacy, so all's good. Clank. The sudden sound of something metallic falling takes you by surprise. What? What was that? Uh-oh, I hope the ghosts aren't mad. We should probably just leave them be already. Ah, there, the crown. Something in the statue has changed. Its crown has fallen, and it now rests on its hands as if it was offering it to you. The wear on its head could be a signal that this had just been an eventuality, but is there such a thing as coincidence? Its features are so eroded that its expression is unreadable, but something invites you to take the crown. You reach out your hand, and as soon as you do, you see them. Vague figures all around the room looking at you. Whoa, that's chilling. No, wait, not exactly at you. They're looking at Timus, whispering with dozens of voices. Oh, it seems that Timus is the chosen one, aren't they? One for the many, to free us from this madness. May the eternal moon forever guide us. And among the ghosts, a shining figure stands right where the statue was. Its face is still indistinguishable. Albedo, Albedo. Huh? You drop the crown to the floor. Are you okay? You suddenly spaced out. Yes, sorry. When I touched the crown, I think I saw all the ghosts. The memories from the hourglass's sand must have affected it after being submerged in them for so long. How does that work? It definitely isn't some normal timepiece. The ghosts are trapped in time, you could say. It's an obsolete device now, but it used to mark how long was left until the lunacy was strongest, like a cycle. The hourglass itself stores memories from each turn it does, and in those memories it keeps the ghosts of those who succumbed to the madness. Sounds like the lunacy was way more dangerous back then. You've got the moon to thank for things being better now. As long as it keeps shining in full, you'll all be safe. Wait, so it wasn't always like that? Think of it like one of those legends. But more importantly, shouldn't we take this crown with us? I've got to say, Dot is feeling a bit sus the way they're always so perky and upbeat. But like almost overriding any sort of like mentality of feelings that these two might have. They're like, oh well, let's go along with this adventure, you know. Should we? It could be more important here. It could be important here. Well, it's been offered to you. Besides, this place is abandoned anyway. It will find way more use and care in your village, wouldn't it? Come on, it's clearly cursed in some way. Oh, are we sort of like grappling with the idea that these artifacts might not belong to us or be good in our hands? But it's a treasure, a relic of the moon. Would you rather leave it abandoned here with all the sand and dust? Yeah, I don't like that line of reasoning. Both of them have a point, maybe one more than the other, but if the statue wants you to take it as thanks, maybe it's not such a bad idea. It seemed like the ghosts looking at Timus were also expecting something. In a way, it could be like freeing a part of the spirits, like bring them to what remains of their people. When you put it that way. Exactly. It's what they want, isn't it? And like that, it's decided. Taking home some treasure from this adventure in the ruins doesn't sound too bad. But of course, you'll have to decide who takes it. You think the person to carry the crown should be... I think it's Timus. It's definitely not Dot. I don't think Dot should. If I carry it, I don't know. Is this like the ring? You know, like when you carry the ring, it's only supposed to be one person who, you know, they looked at Timus like they were supposed to return something, right? If it's so important, maybe Timus should carry it. It's what the ghosts seem to want too. Yeah, I mean, I'd go with what the ghosts wanted. That gives me the shivers, thank you. Take it, don't be shy now. Fine, I'll carry it then. Timus picks up the crown from the floor and puts it in her bag. There, it should be safe here. We'll find a place for it in the village. Maybe the rest at the Order will know more about it. We'll ask when we get back. You leave the innermost room. The sand is receded, allowing you a much clearer passage through the ruins. That night, you camp under the cover of the temple, enjoying a peaceful night, but not without the occasional ghostly whispers. The next day, you wake up with the moon in your thoughts, but can't remember much of what you dreamed about. And once you're ready to depart for your next destination, you leave the ruins behind. Of course, we're going to save our progress. Only one more guardian to go now. How are you holding up? It's fine, I can handle it. This is nothing. Well, it does seem like Timus is slowly getting, quote-unquote, affected by these quests. I hope they're not going to be too badly affected. Hang in there, hero. We're almost there. Timus quietly nods, but something definitely doesn't look okay. Are you sure? Is there anything worrying you? Does your head hurt again? No, it's just... I don't know. I keep being called the hero, but have I even done anything to deserve it? I mean, yeah, you've heroically gone up and, encountered danger in order to sort of save what you love. While you've dealt with 2 guardians and you're working hard to save the moon, aren't you? You've always worked very hard. I think it's also the courage and bravery to put yourself in danger in order to achieve these things. But I haven't saved anything yet. People have called me the hero even when the moon was there, ever since I can remember. But what have I even done to be recognized that way? I mean, that's a good point. There's enough to doubt there. If they had banded together, maybe the townspeople could have dealt with the wolf themselves. Any talented adventurer who wanted to explore those ruins could have solved the hourglass. The answer is they didn't, though, did they? You were the one who were brave enough and courageous enough to go and do that. So why? Why me of all people? It's simple. You were chosen by the moon, that's all. But why choose me? What makes me any different from anyone else? Don't ask me, ask the moon. Maybe she just liked your silver eyes the most. I just don't understand it all. Timus. Timus's legs suddenly fail her for a moment. You quickly try to support her. Thank you, Albedo. Sometimes it feels like you're the only one who calls me by name. I suppose it would be nice if you're always called hero this, hero that, to be called by your literal name. Don't worry, maybe I'm just not feeling too well from the lunacy's effects. You're not sure about how to cheer Timus up. It should be a good thing to be respected, trusted, and loved. You've always seen it as something she deserves. You've seen her work for it all her life. And if there's something you can do to help her carry her responsibility, that's what you're here for, isn't it? It's okay. You're doing so much already. Everyone gave you such big shoes to fit. It's normal to doubt yourself, but I think you're doing great. This is sort of establishing Albedo as like a helping force, further establishing as a helping force in Timus's life. You really think so? Of course. I've seen it with my own eyes. One of the best things to be able to do as a friend is to root for the best interests of your friend. Like what your friend really wants and for what they want for their own life, to really put to encourage them and to want the best for them, and even in their own eyes, So like if they don't want to be called hero, then you don't call them hero, because, well, that's one way of doing it. You are there for them as a friend to support them. And I feel like Albedo is a good friend in that way. Right now they sensed that, they sensed a need and they're fulfilling it. Exactly. See how far we are already? Oh, I missed that line, my bad. And just like you told me yesterday, if you need to stop for a rest at any moment, we can just do that. We rest and walk together. You don't have to bear the burden alone. Albedo, we'll have to divide the hero title at this rate. Uh-oh, but then who will be he and who will be Ro? Okay, that's good. I like that. Ha ha ha, unless we divide it horizontally. Okay, that only works visually, but it is funny. So, top half of hero and bottom half of hero? How did she do that with her mouth? Save your progress. Yes, lampshading the visual joke. Alright, only one more to go. Let's not lose our way now. Also, I don't know how you did that in the font. Is there like top halves and bottom halves of text? What's up there? Alright, so we're going to go on the east path, but it doesn't look like we're going to get very far because we've only got 5 minutes, but that's fine. Following the path to the east, you're accompanied by the pleasant sound of running water. Despite being in an adventure to save the moon, it feels like you're just taking a little stroll. If we keep following the river upstream, we should find the lake easily. I've only seen Great Lakes in books. I wonder what it'll look like. It must be impressive, like a very big pond. Probably, but surely the sea must be way more amazing. The lake is an honored guardian. It's not like any glorified water puddle. You're making it sound like it is a glorified water puddle anyway. No, I'm not. The lake is the lake. But you'll see it's certainly impressive. Exciting. You cross a bridge and stop a moment to enjoy the view from it. The water passing right below you keeps you glued to the bridge railing. You try hard to look through the shine and the running current to see what's underwater, but you only see the bed of colourful pebbles. Oh, I thought I could try counting the fish, but I don't see any. It might be too shallow for them to live here. Maybe tadpoles? Or crabs. We could go fishing again when we can. You continue on your way. It's a peaceful walk, and nothing of note happens. It's almost too peaceful. Focusing so much on the sound of the water, it takes you a while to realize it's the only thing you can hear in the backdrop. That's weird. Do you hear any birds singing? Now that you mention it, that's not a good sign. Ah, look there. A bit ahead, you see a silhouette. A deer is quietly drinking from the river, unperturbed by your presence. There are animals at least. Just a deer. It seems calmer than usual. They usually flee as soon as they see people. If it doesn't run away, you could get closer and check on it. You suggest to... I'll usually just go on my way, but it seems like an interesting thing might happen if we approach the deer. Should we try to get closer? It doesn't seem to be afraid of us. Why not? Let's walk slowly just in case. You leave the path to approach the river. With how elusive deer are, you've never managed to see one from up that close. But this one is pitch black, and something is dripping down from it. The thing resembling a deer starts approaching. Something like a maw opens where its neck should be. A bad memory suddenly comes back to mind, freezing you on your tracks. In your tracks, I think it should be. Oh, no you won't. Temis quickly unsheaths her sword, but it all feels like a blur to you. You barely hear a slash and then a thud. The thing resembling a deer lies dead, but you still feel eyes on you. From between the trees or from its remains, you can't exactly tell. It's quite a horrifying thought. Well done. Temis grabs your arm and your senses return. That was actually quite a well done, like, horror sequence. It's like a being that has eyes, but you can't tell from where it's coming, and then when it focuses on you, you sort of start to lose your memory of the events that are happening, or your perception of the events. Let's get out of here. Yeah. You thought the shock was making you lose perception of your surroundings, but when you realize you can't even hear the river at all anymore, the water is still. Oh. So that's even freakier. I don't even understand that. You can only hear the sound of your footsteps running and running as fast as you can. Once you've gotten far enough to feel a bit safer, you allow yourself a bit of a respite. For a moment it looked like that time. Don't worry, I won't let it hurt you. It won't happen again. It's probably platonic, but this is all very romantic. I see, this can be a problem. If the water on this river comes from the lake, it must be brimming with lunacy. It must have turned the animals into whatever that was. I doubt they can do so much against you, though. They're not a match against a hero. That's terrible, not just for the animals. That water could get to our village and others too. If we were to drink it, it could get even worse indeed. You definitely ship these two? Yeah. I mean, even if it isn't romantic, it's a great platonic relationship. But, at least the animals in the wolf's forest hadn't been affected like that yet. Like, they have a great chemistry going on either way, whether it is or is not romantic. Let's hurry to the lake before it's too late. I dread to imagine how things are there. They do. Yeah, they help each other quite a bit, and that's probably one of the core things I like about this characterization. Only the sound of your footsteps breaks the stillness. You continue on your way, staying on alert of your surroundings. Now that I think about it, I mean, I think the fairy is okay with being a third wheel. I hope the fairy is not secretly evil or deluded. You walk surrounded by silence for a long while. It could be more nuanced like that. You don't trust the fairy. It could be more nuanced to the point where it's like, oh, it's like half and half. You walk surrounded by silence for a long while. It's like time itself is frozen and only you are left to behold this immobile world. If you hear saws in the background, that's just construction that's happening around. That's why I usually use the noise gate to cut some things out. That's fine. I didn't make it much further than this, so no idea. Oh, sorry. I thought that was Stoic talking. It's Silver Sato. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. At last you arrive at what Doc calls the lake, but sadly I only have 2 seconds. 1 done. So I might read the rest of that later, but I have to stop there. But I think I have a good idea of how this novel is. How do I restart? Oh. But yes, that is the 1 hour I got to play of Moonlit Blessed. I definitely add it to my play after list. Yeah, sure. This is your first time seeing it. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I thought that Star was shipping them. Alrighty. Wow. Moonlit blessed. What can I say about this? I'm really sad that I didn't get to play the whole thing in an hour, and I was speaking out loud, so it could be that I could have got through the entire thing within an hour, but I think that I spoke rather, quickly in a general sense, and that I got through the majority. I got through probably more than 50%, but I'm thinking just shy of 75% of the visual novel, and I think I got the gist of the skill involved. Um, Even if hopefully there wasn't a beyond expectations twist at the end that contextualized everything, because that would be quite sad, because I wouldn't have got to experience that. Stoic says, I'm going to play it myself, but it won't be as good without your soothing voice. Yeah, I'm sorry, I won't be able to provide that. But yes, thank you for enjoying this one. I enjoyed this one too. My overall thoughts of this, enjoyable. I mean, I love visual novels. It's a genre. I don't know. There's a debate whether it should be called a genre or medium. But it is a type of game, interactive experience that I enjoy, and I read privately. I mean, Stoic and I, we've read some pretty big ones recently, well, in the past few years. Umineko When They Cry, The House in Fata Morgana, Echo. I mean, and there's some narrative adventures that approximate the visual novel genre, like Thousand X Resist and others, where there's very little skill tests per se, other than just navigating around a physical thing. Silver Satyr says, I hate VNs, but I enjoyed this one a lot too. Oh, that's nice. That's nice to hear. And I can see why, Liberty, because this is like quite a really nice vibe, you know. It seems quite lovely. Anyway, so I do love visual novel genre to some extent. I've read a lot of words. Locke Leon says, I joined in later, but I might visit this one myself. It seems really nicely put together. That's what I will say. It's very nicely put together. Presentationally, it's very strong. All this visual art is very, very strong. As for presentation, like the pixels, it doesn't look very mixeled at all. It seems like a lot of the pixels line up, and if they don't line up, it's only because some show picture is doing like a transition between positions, and that's the only time it will ever be mixeled. The music is really nice too. Yeah, it is. It's very lovely. I think also the good thing about the music is not only is it really nice, but it's well placed. Like, there's certain transitions that were made, like when I went into a dungeon where a music track started playing and then it brought a special sort of vibe with it. So I think the music was well placed as well. It wasn't just nice to listen to, but it was just very well implemented. It's not blasting in your ears. Yep, it's done well indeed. But it's what I liked about it is that the transitions were helped by the musical choices, I felt, and it helped create some chilling sort of atmospheres, nice backgrounds. This is actually it's very well done, and the storytelling is very good. I think at the beginning I was worried, but then as it began to go on, it was sort of this idea of, from what I can see from the limited amount that I read, it was about the struggling with ideas of being the chosen one, and whether if everyone else in the world chooses you but you don't feel like you're the chosen one, then what happens there? Like, how are you supposed to feel when everyone calls you hero? And I think it was quite telling that their best friend, our main character, our MC, was the only person who didn't call them hero, because they didn't just assume, you are the hero chosen by the moon to save everything. And that wasn't their main relationship. It can be quite isolating for everyone to expect a lot from you. So to have a best friend who is there for you as a person and not just an entity with a responsibility or some kind of like, I need to be a hero. I'm guessing that's where it kind of goes towards the end. My guess would be, I don't know if the fairy does a face heel turn. I'm not sure. I haven't got there, but it could even be a subtle face heel turn where the fairy is just simply misguided or just a bit too strong in their sort of representing the world, so that no, you must be the hero, you must, and not you theorycrafting that the MC is the actual hero. That would be interesting. I'm not always a big fan of big twists, particularly because I enjoy. I don't know. I've grown less and less, about twists, because especially if it recontextualizes everything, because that makes. I don't know. We'll see. It could be the actual hero. Who knows? But I feel like the thing that I'd like to take out of it is that everyone thought they were going to be the hero, right? But the real idea is that you shouldn't have to feel like you're obligated to be the hero, especially only if everyone else accepts you as the hero. They're like, you're the hero. Maybe the ending that I'd like is, well, the tragic ending would be as if they have to give themselves to that stereotype and never come back, sort of thing. So like, say this main character is like, I have to do what the world expects of me, and the best friend is like, no, don't give in to that, don't give in to the role, and it's like, no, I have to be the hero that everyone, and then they lose a friend because they lost a friend to the expectations of the world. The happy ending will be, I don't want to be a hero, I want to just be with you, and I want to be a regular person, and that's the thing. That's my guess of what will happen, is I actually don't want to be a hero. I just want to finish this and then just go back to being me and doing me things and being with you and being a friend with you. That's what I thought the takeaway would be. The reason is because you did the lake path first, village second, didn't get through all the temples, so I have some context. You have some context, I don't. Oh, okay, that's interesting. We did. It's good to know that even though I spoke aloud all the words... Oh, no, you would have spoken aloud all the words too, because you recorded. So maybe this is all an hour if you don't have to speak all the words out loud. But either way, I enjoyed what I did. So we both did about 2.5 locations, it seems. Or 2.25. Okay, so... those are my thoughts on the game itself. Because it is a visual novel, I will say front up, there's probably going to be harder to judge than most games, because I'm going to mute the music for a moment because it's got vocals and it's a little distracting to my thought process. But I love the music, but it's just a little distracting to my thought process. This one also has vocals, but it's I know the music, so it's less distracting. Actually, I'll change to one where it doesn't have vocals. So like, oh, there we go. So like for theme, there's these 5 categories: theme, gameplay, engagement, presentation, and polish. And because there's a whole, section for gameplay, I feel like it's gonna be hard to judge this game, based on gameplay, how it typically is for this game. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm just going to say to the author that because you've submitted a visual novel, I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to judge gameplay, but I'm going to do my best, okay? Alright, so Moonlit Blessed, for the theme of exceeding expectations, or going beyond expectations. I think there's a theme there. The biggest clue I have is that there's strong... by the way, I'm going to judge per category. I forgot to say that, so I'm starting with theme. There is strong evidence to suggest high expectations of... forgot what their name was. The MC's best friend. Everyone expects them to be the hero, and e.g. the town sees you go beyond expectations there. I haven't seen the ending, and that might clarify things further. But I will give benefit of doubt, because I think I can see where this is going, and I think the plot is primarily about expectations. It's a hard one to judge, because I would have gone further and been able to... And it's also hard to judge because if I wasn't saying all the words out loud, I might have finished the visual novel. So I'm going, but I think I can sense the theme quite in that way. So I'm going to judge that score based on what I experienced. I changed it. Okay, gameplay. It's hard to judge gameplay for this because it is a visual novel, but I think the game feels very good to play. Minimal lag, good transitions. There was no point where I felt unimmersed from it due to its lack of polish. The backgrounds all were consistent. The visual UI was quite good. The choices were displayed nicely. Generally good here. It's hard to give an extremely high score here. Which I think I'd give for something that was truly wowing in the mechanics standpoint of things. This game is hard to judge on a gameplay level, but I would say good to great, bordering on excellent. That's really hard. Were the choices interesting? Well, that kind of veers into engagement for me, because that's whether the choices were engaging. But did they... I don't know the choice structure, what it implied in terms of endings. That's the one thing. Because, like, if you don't help, does that affect the ending? I'm guessing if you don't help, it affects the ending. I'm just going on the fidelity of the structure of how the game was presented, like the fidelity of like the message boxes and how they came on screen, and the choice boxes and how they were presented, and the save. For example, because there's such a small number of things to pick apart, the way that save came up, like, would you like to continue saving? It felt a bit weird. So yeah, just a little something like that. So it's like there's so few things. Oh, and the choices between... Oh, that's a cool thing to bring up, actually. The overall map was implemented quite well. Yeah, it felt nice. It's just hard. It's hard to judge that. I don't know how to judge that. But it's pretty well. It's well put together. Because there could be a visual novel, for example, that was way worse than that in terms of its implementation. Its implementation was very good. Oh, I never got to try it. Wait, I can try that now. Let me try to see how it feels to skip text. Is that just... Yeah, okay, I won't go further to spoil. It just feels fine. Okay. Just do your best to judge it based on its genre. I have. Yes, I have. I have. But I'm also acknowledging that I do think it's hard to judge. And as such, it's hard to give something like this a 20 out of 20 unless it really wowed me. That's what I'll say. For a visual novel, if its gameplay, if its structure of its UI and everything was so polished to the point where I'm like, oh my goodness, this visual novel, the way you navigate it feels really nice, the animations on text and all this. So it's that kind of thing where it's good, it's serviceable and good and clean. Engagement. Now this is easier because engagement surrounds like the story. Generally well told. The characters were well defined and their roles were too. The conflicts of them coming up against obstacles and having to work together to overcome them strengthened the bond between the two. The third fairy was also there. Lol. I think there were seeds of an annoying-ish personality with the fairy, but they could also just be way too chipper. But they seemed a little bit too eager. Just the teensy bit too eager to get on with it. But, and if that's foreshadowing, I didn't get to see, then that's really good. This is actually very well told in the VN genre, or in the VN genre / medium. Yeah, I quite liked that quite a bit. A presentation, very strong, great backgrounds, characters, everything fits well pixel-wise, really good. Polish, no bugs as far as I know. There we go. Those are my ideas of each category, and its final total score I'm pretty happy with where I put it. Thank you so much for making this game, Moonlight Blessed. You're amazing, and yeah, I'm going to end this recording. Hopefully it won't end my stream. Let me know, chat, if it does. But yeah, thank you so much for making this. Every game is a gift, and keep making games. Cheers.